What's going on, crypto fam, and welcome back to another episode of FUD TV. I'm your host, Elio Trades, and today we're going to be going through a very exciting coin called Zeepin, which is focused on decentralizing the creative economy. They have two monumental partnerships in On-Chain and Arting 365, and we're going to go through how we feel they might be fitting into NEO's smart economy of the future. I'm your host, Elio Trades, and today we're going to be going over everything you want to know about the ZPT token and Zeepin chain, starting right now. We're going to dive in right now and just get to know a little bit more about Zeepin and how they plan to decentralize the creative economy. What I like a lot about this company is that they're run by creatives. So unlike many blockchain projects, it's very hard to dig into and relate to maybe the way that they present their materials, whereas Zeepin is run by creatives, and you can see here it's very easy to dig in and just see how beautiful the assets are. You see how there's this one creative person and they have team, contract, company, idea, finding jobs, investment, copyrights, credit cards. Wow, it seems like a lot of issues here swirling around this guy. We see how they just visually break things down, make it easy to digest. So that's one thing I think I noticed from the beginning, is that Zeepin is clearly run with a lot of creatives on the team, giving it a really easily digestible mission and framework so that it's easy to understand what they're trying to do here, which is exciting. I'm just gonna quickly play their intro video here so you can see a little bit what's going on.
Mike is a freelance designer. He's having a hard time looking for orders and setting up his own team. Introducing Zeepin, a blockchain-based platform to help Mike sort all of it out. Mike uses Zcreate to find new customers on the platform. If Mike wants to complete the project faster, he's able to find new team members using Zcrew, and his client is able to pay for the service with ZPT tokens by sending them directly to the team's Z wallet. The tokens get locked up in the wallet using a smart contract until project validation. When the job is complete, the designer gets certification on Z rights to protect its copyright. And smart contracts distributes the budget of the project according to the contributions made to the project. Mike's team has its own project with its own need for funds. He uses the crowdfunding platform called Zeepin. The project here goes through a few review procedures, gets a rating, and goes straight to publication. ZPT token owners.
You can see here that as a creative or creative lead on a project, a person would be able to, with their various services, find work, find talent, communally organize the funds, find insurance, and essentially all of the things that they'll need to successfully carry out this job, distribute the money, and make their customers very happy, as well as find potentially any of the help they might need in doing this whole process. Finding jobs, finding investment, dealing with copyrights, dealing with credit, team, contract, registering companies, and even selling ideas. So they have a lot of different prongs here, and as we understand it, there are really different sort of segments of Zeepin to deal with all these things. So they say they hope to create a fair and efficient creative ecosystem, which can be understood as a public facility in the blockchain field and has various kinds of tools, dApps, that anyone can use. These dApps can solve problems related to protection and innovation copyright, remote cooperation, talent recruitment, and project financing. For example, the most fundamental dApp in the Zeepin community is Z rights, that helps innovators in copyright protection ensure tradable digital assets and solves problems from the industrial source. So you can see not only do they have this vision for a very robust economy, a very robust ecosystem of services for the creative economy, but they already have one of these pillars up and running, which is Z rights. So here they already have their dApps. They have Zcreate, Zcrew, Z rights, Zfund, and Ztalent. And as the names would lead you to believe, Zcrew is about organizing a team. Z rights is about figuring out copyright issues. They have Zcreate, which is sort of a bridge platform, Zfund for your investments and finding funding, and Ztalent so that you can recruit and find talent for your project. So pretty much all of these services are powered by ZPT tokens, which is exciting because you can see how useful it's going to be. Now the question really remains, who's going to use this whole Zeepin platform, and why would we be so confident that it's even going to be used? So as we look at the team, we're really going to be looking for connections to already existing creative industries and platforms. These already exist in many forms, creative platforms and marketplaces. And as we've said in many videos before, we're not big believers in recreating whole marketplaces and whole economies as much as we are in believing that existing marketplaces can be ported over to a more tokenized, more crypto-friendly environment, as we're seeing here with Wax, with Gifto, and now hopefully what we're going to be seeing here with Zeepin. As we look at the team, right off the bat, it jumps out the former CEO of Arting 365. We also see in Shenbi Zhu that he's the former Chief Strategy Officer for Arting 365. If you're wondering what Arting 365 is, it's a creative community that's already pretty vibrant in China, focusing on global design influence, and they already have a huge user base. You see they call themselves the voice of creative culture in Asia. So as we return back to the Zeepin team, we understand that these are the heads of a big creative community already in Arting 365. To be honest, this team to me is not amazing, right? It's not overwhelming. I'm not seeing ringers on ringers, but there is something that we really need to know here. Zeepin is partnered with Neo and on-chain. On-chain is really going to become one of the most official releasers of blockchain products in the world, as they have a very close relationship with the Chinese government. So their partnership with Arting 365 and on-chain now forms an interesting combination. As we go over here, I found a really awesome article that boils down and distills what really the value points of Zeepin are. So yes, as they go over, yes, the Neo and on-chain are by far the most influential pieces of this. Whenever I see something with on-chain's name on it, I think, how is this part of Neo's vision of a smart economy? And what sector is this really going to affect more than any other? And it's very clear with Zeepin what they're trying to do here. They have a very simple mission statement. Obviously, they have a lot of moving parts here, but it's only really made possible by their integral involvement in the Neo ecosystem. This is going to be Neo's creative sort of hub. As we go here to the Zeepin charts, we can see that it really settled down here in the beginning of February and was pretty stagnant down here, just under 10 cents, around 9 cents, 10 cents here USD, and really hovering at about 1,000 Satoshis, a little over 1,000 Satoshis. There's been a nice little run up here as the markets recovered, but it hasn't come up too much. You know, we're at 15 cents. It's gone up 50% here, but it's still not back to its all-time high. At one point, it was trading right as it got released onto the market at over 20 cents, so we're still working our way back up there. We're here at about 1,500 Satoshis, which is all very exciting, but there's a lot more in the future here. Zeepin hasn't quite hit, it hasn't quite done any of the things it's gonna do, and it's really looking like it might be rounding out Neo's economy to be a creative hub for all designers and digital creatives. This could be very exciting, and it could come to control a lot of that market, which is an ever-expanding, ever-growing part of our modern economy. Right now, the market cap is only $31 million, and we already know that the creative economy is worth a whole lot more than that. I don't even think it's worth comparing this number to the whole creative economy, but we can see at $37 million, as soon as lots of jobs start really flowing through here, if this starts becoming an active creative platform for job creation, team creation, funding, investment, this number is going to skyrocket. And I don't think 100 million is crazy to think of. I don't even think of a billion as crazy to think of as this product really starts to become released and fully accessible to the public. Please remember that not all of their pieces will be ready for use until mid to end of 2019, though we will have many releases throughout 2018. It's not clear that they're going to have this whole ecosystem ready until potentially the end of next year, but this is clearly a long-term hold. If this comes and this becomes what it seems to be, which is the token of the creative economy that Neo is housing, then this could be huge. And this $37 million is absolutely nothing compared to what it could go to. If you want to pick up some ZPT, most of the volume here is happening on KuCoin on the Ethereum charts, but there's also some BTC trading. That's kind of interesting to see how much more Ethereum is being traded than Bitcoin. But at any rate, it's an extremely promising token, and it's exciting because we can see that this is just another pillar of on-chain and Neo's smart economy of the future. And the more that they talk about it, the more that this becomes a real thing, the more we can get excited for what these next few years will mean for Neo, for the smart economy that it's purporting to create, Zeepin, and potentially the future of all blockchain technologies as they start to become linked. So in conclusion, Zeepin's a really promising project with huge partnerships. The team and tech are not overwhelming, but it seems that they are going to be an integral part of Neo and on-chain's vision for the future of the smart economy. And so if that holds true and they are actually a creative hub for the Neo universe, then this project is going to be explosive in value, and any investors in the ZPT token are certainly going to be happy that they threw a few bucks in that bucket. We hope you enjoyed this review of ZPT and the Zeepin project. If you did, please smash that like button. It really helps us and YouTube know that you enjoyed this content, and it shares it to other viewers that might be looking for this type of content. Again, please remember we are not financial advisors, and that everything you've heard here is strictly our opinion based on publicly available information. If you do invest, please do so at your own risk, and please do your own research. Thanks again for watching. I'm Elio Trades, and we'll catch you on the next episode of FUD TV.